I would like to introduce you all to a friend of mine. This is Misfire, and he's been quite very lonely recently. So I thought, why not see if we can find someone who can turn him into a very happy Mrs. Fire. Hello, greetings, and of course, good day, mate. I'm Hal, it's a Hound, but you can just call me Hound or Connor. In Toy Haul Tuesday, that wasn't on a Tuesday, I mentioned that this guy right here had a bit of a story to go with him, and I thought it'd be more worthwhile having him in his own video than it would just to be slotting him in with all the others. So, here we are. I'm going to put him to the side. I'm going to put my best narrating voice on, and I'm going to take you back in time to the far distant past of April 2019. April 20th, 2019 to be specific. It was a Saturday, and I was really bored. I was lazily scrolling through TFW 2005, which is like an online news site and message board for Transformers, and I saw people talking about how much they liked a thing called Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. I didn't know what War for Cybertron Siege was. I had only just gotten back into collecting Transformers and was only collecting Masterpiece at the time. But I guess I was bored enough that I said to myself, hey, I think I've seen some of those War for Cybertron Siege figures in stores in my local area. Why don't I go down and get some? If they're as good as people were saying they were, then great, I'll have an awesome new figure, and if I don't like them, then I can just put them to the side and say to myself, well, curiosity satisfied. So I went to my local Kmart and I walked right up to the toy aisle, but the shelves were empty. Except for some Battle Masters. Battle Masters are littler Transformers that can turn into weapons for the large Transformers to use. They are so cool. And I looked through them, and there were 3 of them. There was Lionizer, a lion that turns into a sword. That's awesome. There's Pterodaxon, a pterodactyl that can turn into an axe. Even cooler. And then there was one more, which was a humanoid robot that could turn into a gun. It's not as cool as the lion or the pterodactyl, but his name was Aimless. Just a quick little Google search later, turns out that he's called Aimless because he can't aim. He's a terrible shot. Like, I thought it was genuinely funny, but it was also a robot that turned into a gun, so I also thought it was cool. It's that right combination of silliness and awesomeness that made me love Transformers in the first place. And so, he was the one I picked up. There he is. Isn't he adorable? Yeah, I feel hard for the Siege stuff. Like, I've got most of the Siege stuff, all the Earthrise stuff that's been released at this point in time. I've also got some of the Takara Tomy Generation stuff. I've gone back and gotten Power of the Primes, and also some Titans Return stuff, which is where he comes in. See, these guys were released together as part of the G1 toy line back in 1987, where the Target Master concept was first introduced. They eventually did updates of a bunch of older Transformers characters, including Misfire. Because Misfire is released as part of Titans Return, rather than being a Target Master, he's now a Headmaster. A Headmaster is essentially a Transformer whose head turns into a smaller robot. There's a whole lot of lore that goes into it, like what the actual smaller robots are, what the bodies are, how it works. But to keep things short and simple, Misfire was a Target Master, which means he was a robot who turned into a vehicle that had a gun that turned into a robot. But for the Titans Return toy line, where everyone was a Headmaster, Misfire became a Headmaster, and thus did not come with a Target Master companion. And of course, years later, Hasbro would release Aimless as part of the War for Cybertron Siege line, and we can reunite them now. But for me, personally, the story gets even better. Misfire here, I bought him in March, and he didn't show up until April 16th, 2020. Which means almost a year after I bought his little Target Master companion, he shows up. And that's the story. First Transformer I bought for my Generations collection, and then his partner shows up almost exactly a year later. But it's almost the end of April. I've been very patient to wait to open up this guy because I wanted to tell that story and I wanted to open him up on camera. So I'm gonna set Aimless to the side, and we're gonna finally open Misfire. So I'm just gonna rip it open like a barbarian, if you don't mind. I'm not going back now. I really hope this is getting shot properly. Like, if this isn't being filmed properly, or if it's not recording properly, this whole thing's been ruined. Because it's open now, it's done, it's permanently always open now. It's no longer MISB. Come on, open up, open up. Ah, there we go. Ah, freedom, he can almost smell it. He's got his clamshell packaging he's still gonna get through. We've got his little instruction booklet, which I'm gonna put right there. And we got a little collector's card. I'm a little sad that the War for Cyberpunk Siege stuff doesn't do the collector's card stuff anymore. It's kind of neat, it's kind of nifty, but the Earthrise stuff has started doing like the map that you can cut out of the back of the packaging, which is actually kind of cooler. Like, we are now assembling like a proper map of the Transformers universe. The Titans Return card art is actually like really nice. It's quite lovely. Like, look at that. I don't know how well that's coming through at the moment. He's got some stats on the back too. Let's see. So conceptually, the Headmaster gimmick, or the Titan Master gimmick, the heads make the Transformers more powerful, apparently. A 7 for strength, that becomes an 8 when his Titan Master is attached. A 6 for speed, that becomes an 8 with his Titan Master attached. A 5 for intelligence, becomes a 6 with the Titan Master. And a 3 for firepower, that becomes an 8 with the Titan Master attached. I mean, I guess firepower and aiming aren't the same thing. Remember how Aimless can't aim? Well, neither can Misfire. His whole thing is that he wasn't gonna pass Decepticon boot camp because he couldn't aim. He couldn't meet the minimum requirement to pass at the gun range, essentially. It's fantastic stuff. You can sort of see why I love this character. All right, enough stalling, time for the main event. We got some clippy-doos, and we got some things for the clippy-doos to clip. Just gonna... Such a satisfying feeling. I mean, it's terrible for the environment, the amount of plastic these figures get packaged in, and Hasbro has said they want to reduce plastics like 100% or something like that by like 2021. The environment is important, like certainly more important than this stuff, but I'd like to have both, so let's get rid of as many plastics as we can. Let's get his guns out, eh? There we go. His non-target master guns. Whew. Freedom at last. And look at him. Alright, worth the wait? Yeah, he was worth the wait. Whew. Okay, so some of his joints are a bit stiff, but you know, that's gonna happen when you've been in a box for since 2017. This guy's been in a box for like 3 years now. Is Misfire my favorite of the 3 Decepticon Target Masters? I have to say yes. I like his character. He's also pretty prominently featured in the IDW comics as a part of the Scavengers, who are like a cult favorite team of Decepticon rejects. I mean, this guy is just fun. Oh, hang on, we got an elastic band here. Bland? Elastic bland? Come on, get off. Is it the wing? What are you attached to right now? There we go. Initial thoughts? I love him. The color on Misfire, this sort of hot pink color, I've always really enjoyed, and come to think of it, like with the pink and like the black head and the like visor, he kind of looks like Bret the Hitman Hart, doesn't he? I'm not the only one seeing this, am I? Just a weird observation. His guns, let's talk about these. Now, the whole Titans Return gimmick was, of course, the Titan Masters, which are like, you know, you just kind of pop the head off, you pop the body to a side, and you just flip the head out, and you've got like a small little robot dude that turns into a head. But like the guns that came with all the Titans Return figures are kind of like, they interact with the Titan Masters by like having them like sit in them, like they're kind of like turrets or something. Like on the instructions, you're told you can do that. Attach it to the shoulder. And like it's weird because he doesn't have a head at the moment. I mean, the idea is you attach another separate Titan Master to the gun and have his head still on his body. Or you can like attach the Titan Master to the gun while he's in vehicle mode. It's a fun play pattern, I suppose, but it's not for me. I kind of prefer him having his head on his body. So just gonna pop that back on for now. And I'm probably just gonna pop this into a box somewhere and never use it again. Maybe, I don't know, I might find a reason. But let's give him his actual gun. Alright, so just gonna flip him into his gun mode. I remember the first time I got my hands on this guy and I was just sort of like completely blown away by The fact that not only did he turn into a gun, but he had effects pieces. Like, I'm pretty sure I said in Toy Haul Tuesday that didn't come out on a Tuesday, that I love that effects pieces are the thing at the moment, because effects pieces add so much more to just your collection in general. The whole combat system for War for Cybertron Siege, and that's awesome. I just love it. And I love how it's carrying over into Earthrise, but now Earthrise has its own little build a base feature, but you're combining the two features together, which is just, I love it. So there he is in his gun mode. There he is, needing a gun. It's the moment I've been waiting for. And there we go. Look at you two, back together, where you belong. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very happy about this. Aimless is reunited with Misfire, and I couldn't be more happy for them. I couldn't be more happy for myself. Like, this is actually the third Decepticon Target Master of the original 3 that I've gotten. I've got the others as well as their Target Master companions. In fact, I was actually playing around with them yesterday in anticipation for me getting Misfire. Looky. Oh, be still my aching heart. This is great. I didn't even know much about the Decepticon Target Masters, or Target Masters in general, until I got Aimless last year. And now I just can't be anything less than utterly thrilled. So before we go, how about we transform Misfire, I almost called him Aimless then, and see what he looks like in his jet mode. A live transformation. This is going to be fun for like no one to watch. I don't even have to look at the instructions for this. You take the head off. Okay, so it seems pretty straightforward. So, oh, those wings are part of the arms? So wait, what's happening here? Are we like, oh, okay. So that whole piece just slides down, that slides around, and it comes down here. That's cool. Oh, okay. And then the wings like actually like have to fold down. I'm gonna flip the hands in while I'm here, because I have a feeling the hands are gonna flip in at some point. So. Oh wait, no, the hands flipping in was like the first step after the head. I just missed the first step. And then you clip the legs together, and you flip the toes up so they're facing like that, I think. So you pull the waist out. Oh, okay, so the waist just pulls out, and then you flip these legs up and over, and they just kind of like sit in place. The arms snap into the sides of the legs, and you just take the front portion here, just kind of snapping into place. I think that's him fully transformed. That's Misfire in his jet mode. Yeah, take a good look at that. Again, I love the colors on this guy, and it looks just as good in jet mode. I love the jet modes for the Target Masters, by the way. Like the Decepticon Target Master jet modes, they're just all fantasy nonsense jet modes in the same way that like Cyclonus and Scourge were. They stopped really doing the robots in disguise part of it all when they started doing stuff like this, but it's still a jet that turns into a big robot, so it didn't stop being any less cool. Now, as for the Headmaster, you just flip him out, put him in a seated position, and then his little cockpit here actually opens up. You just sit them in there, and then you close the cockpit, and there we are. Now, where am I going to put you? Doesn't seem like there's anywhere obvious. Hang on, where does this go? So they go into the sides of the arms here, but I think he's a bit too big for that. Yeah, so I guess I have to unclip the wings and then put them there. Bring the wings down. I mean, that's all right. Yeah, all right. That's cool. I like it. Look at that. Whew, okay, that was that then. I hope you enjoyed watching me nerd out on camera for the past 10 minutes. If you did enjoy watching this, then I would greatly appreciate a like or a subscribe or a share. Comment down below which of these 3 is your favorite. Personally, at this point in time, but it could just be like recency bias. Misfire is my favorite, but that could change over time. Follow me over on my social medias. I've got a Facebook and an Instagram, and thinking of getting a Twitter set up soon, maybe. I'm hoping to have a couple more videos released on the channel sometime in the next few days. I've got some Lego sets that I want to build on camera. I've got some trading cards I want to have a look at on camera. And I, of course, need to film everything for Toy Haul Tuesday, which I promise Toy Haul Tuesday will come out on Tuesday. You have my word. So with that being said, I'm the Howitzer Hound. I thank you for joining me today, and I do hope to see you very soon. Pew, 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 pew. Boom, pew, pew.